This is your Barbados Today evening news update for Wednesday, October 25th, 2017. I'm Ryan Jilt. Glad you could join us. Residents in Bagatelle St. Thomas are wary of continuing rainfall. After persistent showers yesterday, the community was flooded and residents fear more of the same as the island remains under a flood warning. When a Barbados Today news team visited the area, the waters had already receded, but resident Winnie Griffith is pleading with authorities to find a permanent fix to the problem.
Yesterday's incident was the worst. I thought these children was going to die. You know, because when I look out through my window, I see children running, not running, trying to walk. They stopped along there for about 2 hours or an hour or more. And the father went over to Mrs. Cummins, right, to get a phone call. The fire brigade couldn't get here because the water was too high.
Her sentiments have been echoed by another resident, Lorna Farley, who says the rising flood waters made it difficult for her to gain access to her home.
We have spoken to the authorities even before 2013, but during 2013 I got the two of the neighbors. They signed a consent form giving drainage permission to put a drain so to channel the water from there in the corner, and nothing has been done about it. Today I went to drainage again because I cannot get into my house. I had to go around the other avenue and climb over the fence to get into my house yesterday. And I don't think that it is fair. It has been going on for too long, and something has to be done. I think it was in the same 2013 or probably 14 where a resident almost drowned in her apartment. We have people in cars. Up to last night, I saw a family being taken out of a vehicle there, and they couldn't get them out because the water was too high.
Tuesday's heavy rains also tested the island's South Coast sewage network. Director of the Barbados Water Authority's Wastewater Recovery Division, Patricia Innes, says while there was no major overflows in the sewer lines, there was an excessive amount of water in Rendezvous by the post office and some reports of flooding along Worthing Main Road.
What has concerned us is that last night with these 4 inches or more, there were high levels in this area where we are in the Hastings area by KFC. Very, very high levels. We had a manhole where the boats were missing. That's as much as I can say. There were no boats when we checked. And because of such, with the high levels of the water, last night, all in this area, the sidewalk was in essence covered. The manhole with no security on it, and we don't know what has happened with the boats. It lifted and it was displaced. And then by this morning, what happened is, unfortunately, 2 vehicles, a ZR van, and then a lady driving a Toyota, her front right wheel went into the open manhole.
Innes told Barbados Today that measures have been implemented to fix the problem.
So what we have done now for the immediate solution is to seal the manhole, weld the manhole cover down. We are not sure how the boats were removed. We'll do constant checks, but it's at a stage now of just making sure, especially in the troubled areas, we are welding them. Of course, we don't necessarily like to do that because we need to get access, and we will be doing some more cleaning tonight of the entire network line. We had never done a whole major cleaning. We've done sparks. We've had a lot of blockages in the network, which we've been clearing over the period of time, but we're doing another major period. We are very, very sorry for this reality that has happened, and we are there in contact with those persons. Also, too, we have some flooding of 1 or 2 areas, and we're not comfortable with that either. It is rainwater, but there may be the concern of a sewer overflow in areas further down in the Worthing area, which is not quite recovered, not resilient enough as yet. And we are working on building up the resilience.
Meantime, the acting director of the Barbados Meteorological Service, Claremont Williams, says The persistent rains affecting the island are nothing out of the ordinary. He says high rainfall in October is the norm.
This time of the year, when we get into October, maybe even into part of November, yes, we do see a reduction in the tropical storm formation over the Atlantic. But at the same time, we now see upper level troughs now. So most of our showers now are no longer from tropical waves and so on, but we now have these upper level features, upper level troughs and so on, that are partially responsible now for most of the rainfall as we go into this part of the season.
In other news, after 3 years of operations, officials say the country's drug treatment court is reaping success. At a court hearing today, 9 of 16 candidates were rewarded by sitting magistrate Graveney Bannister for fulfilling all the requirements of the program so far, including 3 or more consecutive negative drug tests. Francis McBarnett, the Organization of American States representative to Barbados, says the hemispheric body, which is funding the initiative, is satisfied with the progress, adding that it will continue to support the court.
This is the second cohort of this Barbados Drug Treatment Court. We have done, in the first cohort, we started 16 candidates and we graduated 11. 10 males and 1 female. We're now in a second cohort where we have 18 candidates and we're hoping to graduate them in December. It has gone well. We started in the second cohort with 25 and we moved to 18. And we are refining the processes as we go along.
Leg spinner Devendra Bishu is pointing to a strong team chemistry as one of the key cogs of the West Indies' win against Zimbabwe yesterday. Playing in Bulawayo, the West Indies beat the home side by 117 runs in the opening test to claim their third test win in 7 matches. Bishu, who ended with a 9-wicket match haul at the spin-friendly Queen's Sports Club, says his team is hungry for success.
I know we have the capability of batsmen in our team, and we have Craig Bartlett, who had a good series in England. We have Sheho, who had a good series in England. Ross and Chase, he been around the runs for the last year. And everybody believe in one another, and that's one of the most important thing about this group of cricketers.
Because you've been around in the West Indies for quite a while, does this feel like maybe the most complete test team that's kind of come together over the last year?
Well, the team togetherness is really good. Everybody help one another. We're very comfortable with each other, and I have no complaint.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Join us from November 16th to 19th, 2017 for the Barbados Food and Rum Festival, where acclaimed Barbadian chefs and mixologists are joined by Chef Jean-Georges of the US, Chef Tom Akins of the UK, Chef Chris De La Rosa of Canada to create dining experiences to delight the senses. Visit ticketpal.com and all TicketPal locations to get your tickets, and visit foodandrum.com for more information.
Recent flooding in Trinidad and Tobago has not only damaged homes, infrastructure and destroyed crops. It has claimed the job of the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management. Retired Colonel Dave Williams yesterday resigned with immediate effect. His departure comes in the wake of criticisms over the OPDM's inefficient responses to victims of flooding in recent weeks. However, in a twist, the man chosen to act in his place, Captain Neville Wint, said he had no clue that Williams had resigned. More in this TV6 report.
Captain Wint said at this time his priorities would be to focus on the response activities already underway. He said he wants to ensure there is structure and continuity in the ODPM. Colonel Williams was heavily criticized after a press conference on Friday, where he said the ODPM saw the floods as, quote, small thing. He had also insisted the ODPM had not failed in its response, but admitted there were problems with communication. Calls to Williams' phone went unanswered.
And in international news now, the former U.S. President George Bush Sr. has apologized for any distress caused after an actress accused him of sexual assault. Heather Lynn said the 93-year-old former president touched her buttocks from his wheelchair and told a dirty joke while posing for a photo. Ms. Lynn made the allegation in a post on Instagram, which has since been deleted. A spokesman for Mr. Bush said the incident was an attempt at humor. Mr. Bush served one term as U.S. president from 1989 to 1993 and is the father of George W. Bush, who has served 2 presidential terms. George Bush Sr. suffers from a form of Parkinson's disease. And that's where we end this edition of news. But for the very latest, you can check out our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals and on Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also tune in to Mix 96.9 FM for more. I'm Ryan Jills. Have a good evening.